Whoa, when was the last time, you know what I'm saying, I kicked it with my boy? Button. Trying to zoom in, my fault. Shit. Hopefully that button that I clicked didn't do anything wrong. You probably might be hearing some sounds from the soundboard you're not supposed to be hearing. Why Gen Alpha is making teachers quit in 2025. So with Gen Alpha, right? With Gen Alpha being the student, right? Who's the teacher? Maybe Gen Z. No. Maybe, millennials. Millenniums definitely. Millenniums are probably like damn near almost retired, like retiring teachers at this point. Okay, now I think they still got a long way to go before retirement, in terms of the teaching collective of the millennials. But yeah, Gen Alpha, ladies and gentlemen, and I wanted today's theme to be about Gen Alpha, so we can, kind of zoom in and see how they, handle things and how they be moving and things like that, right? The previous video I wanted to go for that, but that seemed like a Gen Z creator. I'm not gonna lie, but right here, you know what I'm saying? Gen Alpha, ladies and gentlemen, what are we talking about? Come on, Gen Alpha. Okay, this is the official Gen Alpha reaction. The official opening to, like, it's our first. Yep. Y'all done? Y'all done? Nah. Play, yo. Yeah, shout out Gen Alpha. My peoples from 2010s to, I think Copilot said mid 2020s, something like that. So yeah, they are students. They've been students, but then now they're the kind of students. I think they're in college or maybe high school, something like that. I'm talking about, the oldest Gen Alpha individuals. Understand what I'm saying? We about to react what they be doing to these teachers right here with my boy Astral Dior. I don't know why that name was like so far. Wait, hold on. Let me just. I want to check something, dog. I don't think. Okay, no. We still rolling. Because, I told you I pressed the wrong button, man. So I had to make sure everything was still running smoothly. My fault.
Why Gen Alpha is making teachers quit in 2025.
They're making them quit. I don't know if
it's just a Gen Alpha thing, bro. I feel like we've been making teachers quit. Bad kids been making teachers quit for a minute. I remember in my school, I had a sub. I know she wasn't a teacher, but I had a sub that couldn't take the class. It was too lit. She said, I can't do this, and she left. And then a coach came in. When the coach come in, there's a guy, he's like, sit y'all ass down. He started getting lit with you feel me? Anyway, video. A little more talking when we get into it.
Let's go.
I appreciate your great for y'all.
Gen Alpha might just go, every generation got their level of just like how crazy they can take things, right? In terms of, how we make these teachers quit, you know what I'm saying? Like there probably might be generations that were more like violent than others, you know what I'm saying? At this point, I know every generation probably got this point to them, but it's like, at this point I feel like we just gotta rate how, the quality of generation's degeneracy. You understand what I'm saying? That should be the conversation, really.
A 5th grade class, and as someone with a lot of experience in the classroom and a lot of experience in reading, I just want you to know we should be really afraid about the future of our society.
Please start saying
we should be very afraid.
What are these kids doing?
The future of our society. This is the most over-sexualized generation in history. I feel like
it's the most sexualized. Oh shit, it's on the caption. Damn, my fault. I didn't even use the caption. Let's see that. This is the most over. What is sexualization? You should be really afraid for the future of the children in the US. Crazy.
Right, as their kids are more bad, I feel like the teachers are also more sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Like they are not as built as they once were. When I was in like school like this, like young school, you feel me? We were young. Like they tolerated more. They could get, not when I say tolerated more, they were more callousized to like bad behavior or rowdiness or stuff like that. I feel like teachers nowadays I ain't like, you know, because they coming from another generation.
Exactly.
A more like, especially with everything going on, a softer society. Like, I feel like they might not be as built as they once were. So I feel like the teachers are a little bit softer, which is, I understand. And the kids.
Nah, and look, just to, you know, elaborate on why I think that is because, you know, the teachers that we have right now, they were raised by a generation they probably wanted to correct, right? They saw a habit that raised them up. Well, they saw a bunch of habits from the generation that raised them up and were like, yo, I'm gonna be different from this, right? So them having been raised rougher, they might have made the vow to just like raise their next generation softer. So it was a whole bunch of generations. I'm not saying this is accurate. I'm just cooking up a speculation of why I think this might be it. I might be talking ass. So just, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's like the newer generation of teachers that come in, they come in with that mindset of like, yo, kids are not supposed to be just fucking, you know what I'm saying, manhandled and thrown against the wall and just like, you know, faces, you know, skulls to the ground, to the pavement type shit, like type discipline measures. It's like you gotta be more soft, more gentle. So therefore the teachers are like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, it might be ass. Fuck. Yeah, I might have. I don't know if y'all can hear that. It's just, yeah, some engine play going crazy. You know, going crazy with a switch, an engine with a switch. You know, going on niggas.
It's a little bit. I don't even know if they more bad per se. Like they just might be disruptive. I don't know, cause kids is kids at the end of the day. You feel me?
That's it.
Kids are kids at the end of the day. We do gotta remember these are still children.
No, but what is smexualized mean though?
Let's get more into it so if I can see if I can explain that point more.
I just want you to know we should be really afraid about the future of our society.
Please start seeing your child.
Isn't that considered fear mongering? No, you gotta be hopeful. I don't give a fuck like how dark, you know, of characteristics your kids is exhibiting, man. Stay hopeful, nigga. What are we doing?
Like when I was a kid, I got in trouble for saying I give you a nickel if you take on my pickle. You know what I'm saying? What? I didn't know what it meant at the time.
Jesus.
But they were saying it, and we were saying that. I give you a nickel if you take on my pickle.
Give you a nickel if you tickle my pickle. Nah, dog. No. Nah, let me try and help you out in terms of the, you know, clarifying that point. Yo, co-pilot. Co-pilot.
I'm right here, Sizway.
Yo, look. So there's this saying, I'll give you a nickel if you tickle my pickle. What was it about and what did it mean?
Oh, that phrase is actually a bit of a playful old school rhyme that doesn't mean anything too deep. It's just a cheeky rhyming way people used to joke around about.
Yeah, about busting nuts. No, because what happens when you tickle that pickle?
Haha, yeah.
Yo.
And I remember I was in a couple seconds later, I was in the office.
Exactly.
Legal name that's on their birth certificate before they start school.
This is our future. Gen Z, your kids cannot read.
Alright, so today we're going to be taking a look at something that's been popping up on my TikTok more often, especially during this school year, and that's how difficult Gen Alpha is being in the classroom. Being disrespectful, not wanting to do anything that resembles work, always wanting to just sit on their iPads 24/7, and this has become so bad that I'm seeing many teachers quit and change careers because of this. And if that's what's happening while we're in a terrible job market, you know how bad this has really gotten. We have a lot to go over today, along with comments from you guys from previous videos, so if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below, but let's just jump right into it.
I'm going to tell you all this because your teachers can't, because they'll lose their licenses and their jobs. What are y'all doing with your kids?
What are y'all doing?
Your kids can't read. They're not potty trained. They're going into kindergarten, soiling themselves, not knowing how to use the toilet. Just like 1 or 2 kids, okay? It's like 5, 10 per class. Kids cannot sit through a movie. Buy them some pencils and paper and have them write. Oh, but you know, sometimes we just need a break. And like, I don't feel guilty about giving my kids an iPad and putting them in front of the TV. What do you think people did before iPads and TVs existed?
What age is your kid going to? And I should know this. I have a 3-year-old. What age do your kids go to? This is. I could have definitely asked this a much easier.
I think 19 or some shit.
What age? AI mode. I'm not interested right now. Age 5.
5?
Yeah, see, 5 years old. Even if a child can start kindergarten at 4 or 5, most states
Oh
don't.
shit, I said 19. I thought you said at what age do they go to college? My bad.
Mandate for still
It's in 18.
6 or 7.
Oh, that's
Texas
crazy.
must be 5 on or before September. So I got 2 years. My son
got 3 years left.
is potty trained. You know, he's 3. He has he had an accident here or there? He has. You know what I'm saying? But you know, he watches TV. He likes Polar. He only watches 2 movies ever.
What?
He likes Polar
What does that
Express and he likes he likes Polar Express. Sorry, Polar Express.
Paw
and
Patrol.
he likes Nightmare Before Christmas. Those are his 2 movies. And he really likes Paw Patrol, but he doesn't get to watch too much of that. He watches that very rarely. We don't let it's very overstimulating. But you know, he really likes the toys and he likes the characters and stuff. So he knows who they are and stuff. He likes it, but he's not watching.
Hey man, look, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, yo, shout out to Dior, bro, and shout out to the people that are, you know what I'm saying, in the field, active with it. But you know, pretty interesting. Sometimes I'll be like thinking about the fact that, like, yo, I wonder, like, you know, just finding out what your kid is into and things like that, and you know, it's an adventure on its own. I feel like, you know what I mean? It's something that you have to be around. You have to not be preoccupied with a whole bunch of other things in life. That's why I feel like parenting, bro, you got to be at a point where you can give yourself the same amount of time that you've been putting into your career, or you know, things that are worthy of the highest priority. You know what I'm saying? Parenting your kid, you have to treat that in the same way. That's why I believe, you know what I mean, get done with your career, bro. And there is such a thing as getting done, and by that I don't even mean get done and like do away with it. You know what I mean? You can initiate something, you can create something and develop it to a point where it can just like auto-generate. So you know what I'm saying? Auto-generate the outcome that you wanted to auto-generate while you do something else. So you know, obviously when you start that out, especially at the beginning of a career, for example, right? You begin your career having to be hands-on, you know, active within it, but then you get to a point where you can put certain things in place so that it auto generates the outcome you want, so that you can go be somebody else, aka go be a parent. That shit is a full-on adventure, bro. It needs your whole focus and your whole attention to even find out, like, yo, my kid is into like 2 movies, you know what I'm saying, this, that, and the third. No, I know Paw Patrol is like too, you know, it's too like just overly stimulating for my kid. No, we don't want that. This, that, and the third. It's like knowing your kid at that level. I can do nothing but respect like people that have that kind of connection with their kids. You feel what I'm saying? Matter of fact, hold on, I'm giving you this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm giving you that, dog. I'm giving you flowers over there for me.
Watching that all the time. The only 2 movies he watches that what he wants to watch are Polar Express and Nightmare Before Christmas. So he watches those, and then we also be doing some arts and crafts with him. He likes to play outside. He likes toys and stuff. So he's not, and he's very limited on his phone stuff, because he showed us when he gets in front of a screen and you know he's on here, like we let him get on the game, but when he gets in front of that screen, he doesn't get to. His time is very limited, because he start acting like, you know. He owned the phone, like he paid for the phone. But he's doing a lot better with it. I'd be like, hey man, it's time to go ahead and give that up. He's like, okay. And he hand it over, and then he go about playing with his toys and stuff, or whatever we have playing that day. You know?
This is our future. This is our future. Gen Z, your kids cannot read.
We can go right over to the comments. Parents are too addicted to their own cell phones.
That's
the brain
true.
is a muscle. We can't have brain rot at age 3. I can't imagine what the consequences are going to be down the road. The creator responds, these elementary school kids all speak in brain rot, nothing but memes. A former teacher, most people genuinely suck at being parents. It's really not rocket science. I don't understand. Now, I don't think being a parent is as easy as that comment
Definitely not. Definitely not.
says. However, I do wonder why you decide to have kids if you just want them to sit in front of the iPad all the time, just so you're not bothered. Now, I'm not trying to be...
Yeah, my girl is not like that. She is not like that. Like...
So whenever you hand your son the iPad, like your girl snatches away from your son, she doesn't like that, right?
She is not happy with when he's on.
No, I'm just saying, like, you gotta have that balance though, right? You gotta have the one parent. Like, it's like good cop, bad cop. You just gotta, you know, pick your role, pick your poison, and let it kill you, nigga. I'm saying, so, you know, if you're the person that like will give the kid the iPad, like, yeah, let the other parent be the one that's gonna, you know, pull up and snatch it away. You know what I'm saying? On some. I don't know if y'all remember the whole Boondocks. Did I catch you wanting to be something, nigga? You know what I'm saying? And then you you snatch that desire away from them. You know what I mean? Did I catch you just like having fun, bro? Nah. Watch out. Bring that here.
If he's had too much time, if he watched too much today or something like that. Because my girl is with my son all the time, like all day. You know, I'm working until I'm done, and then we're all together, right? So if he's seen a movie, if he's seen one of his 2 favorite movies today, he's like, that's enough screen time. TV off. You playing with toys, or you coloring, or some shit, man. You know what I'm saying?
Anti-natalist, I know that community is getting bigger and bigger online right now, and I'm definitely not a part of it, but what's the point of having them in the first place? You're just pointing your kids off to the teacher, and they're not learning anything from you. We have a comment from one of you guys right here. I was a teacher for 2 years. What I noticed is parents offsetting their parenting to teachers. Courtesy, manners, and socially acceptable behavior is meant to be taught.
No, that would be crazy, right?
But I feel like at the same time, you know, they also are going to learn a bit of those behavioral things and stuff from teachers as well. Like, I feel like it's definitely on the parents, mostly all of that on the parents. But in a setting where the parents aren't there, you got to also be able to correct and do stuff. Like, it sounds like motherfuckers just want to get on there and just start teaching and nothing happens. You feel me? Like that. When does that ever happen?
It sounds like every year that goes by, the horror stories get worse and worse.
Hey, I just subbed a 5th grade class, and as someone
this right here is crazy.
in the classroom and a lot of experience in reading, I just want you
Here that goes
class and
the horror stories get worse and worse.
Hey, I just subbed a 5th grade class, and as someone with a lot of experience in the classroom and a lot of experience in reading, I just want you to know we should be really
I just want to make sure, right? Hold on.
Society. Do you know that every single kid thinks they're gonna be a?
I just want to make sure, like, what smexualized is. I see this word on here, bro. Like smexualized. Like what? Co-pilot, please save me, nigga. Yo, co-pilot. What does the word smexualized mean?
So the word sexualized basically
No. Are you trying to get me streaking, nigga? I'm not talking about that. Smexualized. SMEXUALIZED, I think.
Oh, got it. Thanks for spelling that out for me. No confusion now. You're talking about making things more, let's say, appealing or attractive. So what's the context? Are you trying to jazz up a project or make something more engaging?
So the context is, well, it's a caption that goes, well, that says, this is the most over-smexualized generation in history. What does that mean?
So, to put it simply, what you spelled out is basically a way of saying making things more appealing or adding some extra pizzazz. Doesn't have to be anything over the top. Could just be about making something more attractive in a general sense. So tell me what you're working on.
Okay, so if I say this is the most over-smexualized generation, what do I mean exactly?
You're basically saying that you think people these days are more focused on or influenced by sexual content, norms, and attitudes than in the past. It's kind of like saying that everything nowadays has a bit more of that kind of spin on it. So,
content creator, and when you ask them what their hobbies are, it's all video game and addictive things that they think are hobbies. Hobbies are not that. Hobbies are not addictive things.
What did we say when we wanted to be young? Hold on, man. I know. Again, we gotta we also gotta remember that kids, like, if a kid, bro, 5th grade, you're 10. You know what I'm saying? That's, you just got out of the phase where whenever your teacher asks you, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you say dinosaur, and they're like, oh, okay, well, you can't be a dinosaur, because, right? That, like, you're just kind of leaving that and kind of getting the percent, like, you want a motherfucker to say, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a fireman. You're gonna get those for sure, but like, in the mixture of those, when we were kids, we were also saying, I want to be I want to be the greatest player in the NBA. I want to be the biggest football player in the world. I want to be a rapper. I want to be a singer. Like, you're also gonna have those too. You feel me? Now she's saying all of them. Maybe it's more than normal, right? But we're talking about 5th graders. What are you, 9 or 10?
5th graders.
Like, when it comes,
fifth grade. Yeah.
To that question is what I'm talking about.
Things that they think are hobbies. Hobbies are not that. Hobbies are not addictive things. Hobbies are the things that brought you joy before you were 5 or 6 years old. So maybe it was soccer, maybe it was animals, maybe it was going outside, but these kids don't know those things about themselves. Quite frankly, I don't even think they know when they have to go to the bathroom. I don't even think they know when they're hungry.
Is it that bad?
They just want to get back onto their devices ASAP. And I'm not blaming their parents. I mean, as a society, I think we should have had better parameters and better education about this 15 years.
Wait, you're not? Hey, how are you now blaming the parents, bro? It falls, that kind of shit falls squarely on the parents. Wait, I clicked the wrong shit, my fault. That kind of shit falls squarely on the parents, buddy. You know what I'm saying? What are we talking about? Yeah, and look, I know there are parents that like have the best intentions, right, for how their kids grow and how their kids develop, and they will take, you know, a sensitivity to this kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? I know there are parents that are like deliberate in how these devices and shit like this affects their kid, right? So look, if you wanna, you know, if you've developed the interest in this video, go ahead and just check out Astral Dior, why Gen Alpha is making teachers quit in 2025. Because y'all already know, man, if y'all are here for the interest of the video, just go right there, right? I'm gonna go ahead to, you know, a later part of the video.
Sound effects,
Continue
just
there.
ways to keep your attention as much as humanly possible. So if there's any dead air, whether it be a video or in real life, they can't handle it. So they start buzzing or tapping, playing with their pens, anything. I feel like that would drive me crazy. And like I said before, no matter how much they misbehave, there's no consequences.
How are teachers doing it?
None? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This is where, you know, this is where my Christians out there will like testify, where, you know, the Bible says you spare the rod, you spoil the kid, right? You spare the rod, you spoil the kid. And that's where, you know, that's where these kind of values are seen. It's like, yo, okay, cool, I see the value in that. I see the value in, like, you know, making strong like my discipline methods to my kid, you know what I mean? But then again, like, to some other parents, this might hurt the parent, you know, more than it hurts the kid to discipline their own kid, and so then therefore they don't do it, right? It doesn't make sense, but it happens.
I want to know how they're doing it. Why are middle schoolers so bad? I work as a permanent sub at a middle school, so I'm permanent, therefore I work full-time, I'm contracted, I work every single day, all school day at the same school. Today was the hardest day I've had. I almost walked out of the class. I was so overwhelmed and overstimulated, and the craziest part is the teacher was there. I was subbing for a teacher's assistant, so I was in the class assisting another teacher. And it was my first time in this teacher's class, and this person had absolutely no control over these 6th graders. Like, these students were throwing things, hitting each other, singing random songs out loud. They just wanted to hear themselves talk.
Oh, but I remember when we would go wild too, dog. You know what I'm saying? With me, even it wouldn't be just in the classroom, right? It would be even with the transportation that I would use, like the school bus. You know what I'm saying? The school bus that I would use. Yo, like, we would like run amok, even with people that are like the traffic that passes our bus, right? In the morning, in the afternoon, going back home, whatever the case. We would just, like, you know, throw signs, gang signs, like at you know, other road users. We just like shout, like, go crazy, you know. No. Bro, y'all know how kids do it, bro. Like, yo, nigga, you was a kid before, nigga. You know, don't tell me now you were probably, you know, you had this image, or no, you were the calm one, you didn't do anything. There was a moment when at least you were animalistic, at least one time. I'm saying, I remember this one time, you know, the bus driver, he had to come up with a, I don't know if you know a shambok, dog. I don't know if you know a shambok. It's one of these devices right here. Let me even pull it up for the one time, for the record, right? I call it a shambok out here in South Africa, dog. It's like some rubber whip, nigga. It's a whip rubber that's like used to just like whip cows and whip animals, to just whip them into like the right direction and shit like that. And people like beyond that have been using it to just like torture, punish people, bro. I'm saying this kind of device right here. I don't know if y'all can see it. Let me see if y'all can see that shit. Yeah, y'all can see it, my fault. I'm saying this shit right here, man. So it's like it has this like holder right here. You see this little piece right here. That's where you hold the thing. This shit is firm, right? This shit is firm. It's stiff. And then as it goes right here, as you can see, it goes, you know, more. It's more flexible, dog. You know what I mean? And that's rubber right there. It's rubber, pure rubber, dog. Shit hurts, nigga. So, you know what I'm saying? This one time we were going crazy on the, I can't remember. Yeah, we were just like singing out of control. You know, I think it was like the last day of school, something like that, or it was like a sports day at school. So it wasn't like an academic day. So we were just like having fun, things like this. You know what I'm saying? We weren't even rocking uniform at that point. You know what I'm saying? I know a whole lot of schools are like people that are watching my shit. You know what I mean? Y'all came up like not rocking uniform like as you know, at your schools, but like we used to do that. So that day, I think it was one of those where we were not even rocking uniform. We were feeling good. Yo, that nigga came through with a shambok, seat by seat, dog. Started whipping niggas. You know what I'm saying? Just going seat by seat, like just lashing everybody. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that day was like transformative for me. It was so traumatic, dog. It's crazy. Thinking back on it right now, I reflect back on it with a smile and shit like that, knowing that, you know, we was once kids, dog. We was once mindless, nigga. Crazy.
They were walking across the room, over the desks, and on the chairs.
Whoa.
And everybody was talking over each other. It was crazy. And the teacher told me that they had given up. They just given up. And even with the terrible behavior, this teacher still took the class outside because that was like the incentive. Oh, if you're good today, I'll let you go outside like all the other classes did. That class was horrible.
It's right now, like the thing about it is these kids don't fear nothing. You know what I'm saying? They don't fear nothing. Like, I remember when I was in school, getting in trouble meant it was over with when I got home. Being disobedient at school meant, damn, it's gonna be a bad one.
Especially if they call your parents.
All right, yeah, my teacher can't hit me. You know, even though like teachers when I was younger, it seemed like I don't know if again it was just the fear of knowing what's gonna happen when I get home, but they were able to, you know, earn some respect. I had a teacher named Miss Reyes. She was like 6 foot. And she used to be in there. It was my 5th grade teacher.
Fuck around, he choke slammed the students. God,
and she ruled with an iron fist, like, "Hey, no, stop that, da da, boom, bam." Like,
that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you need that, bro. Sometimes these kids, bro, that's the only method of just like, you know, that's the only method that they could, you know, heed to, bro. You know what I mean? Like, rule your shit with an iron fist. You feel what I'm saying? You know, again, don't you know, spoil the child by sparing the rod. You feel me? On top of that, though, you know, there's parents that like they never like want that. It would literally hurt them. You know, using an iron fist to discipline their kid might hurt them more than it hurts their kid. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, others might like literally just crash out on you, and that's part of the reason why a whole lot of people, like across the globe, even in terms of teachers to students, they don't use, like traditionally, they don't use those, you know, old school ways of like corporal punishment, you know, just using an iron fist to discipline the kids. People don't touch that. It's like, it's
she was stern. She would put the whole class on punishment. Can't go outside if y'all did this and I did that. You know what I'm saying? It was like they would get on your ass. And when I got to middle school, we had a teacher that would cuss us out. It was bad to the point one of the girls recorded shorty, got her fired. Like, she would get on your ass. It was just a different. I feel like now the students just not feared. They don't have no fear in their heart. They're not scared of nobody. Cause what?
Yeah, a whole lot of the laws and constitutions that like just govern them wherever they're from, right? In terms of part of the world, a whole lot of those things are protecting these kids. That's why they feel like, you know, that's why they can feel like they got like big balls these days.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know, man. She's talking about, and then they still let them go outside. It's like, nah. I mean, maybe that's for her. That's their break. But it's kind of like when you think about it, how do you get some students that's not gonna listen to you to listen whenever you get upset and get mad? Like, what's gonna happen? They need the parent at home need to be able to be like, hey, all right, bet I'm the one. You brought it to my attention. I'm gonna clean it up right here. Don't worry about it.
The worst class that I've been in that entire.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Is like a parent can be let known that your kid is a problem at school. You know what I mean? And the measures that those parents use to just like put their kids in line, they might not even be doing anything, bro. You know what I'm saying? They so like, nah, dog. Some of these parents, bro. That's why I'm like, to a certain degree, they don't deserve to be parents. Like, you know what I mean? Respectfully, bro. Like, nah, like your own kid.